Good afternoon. Welcome to another session with myself, Darren Baton from Elite EDM Stars. Do apologise, slightly running late, purely because OBS wouldn't show my webcam. So I've had a few little technical hiccups, but I've just sorted it out. So we're back on track. Okay, so sound should be coming through. Let me just switch over everything and bring up Ableton Live. There's no slides, there's no technical information today. It's just a short video on sound design, sample layering, sound design layering. I was building a track for the Academy for one of the house tutorials, part of the house course that I've just created. And basically I was just putting sounds together. I was layering some basically a few different synths, trying to come up with just some looped ideas to create some sample layers or some sound design layers, ready to start building a track. Again, it's just an example for part of the house music course that I've recently released. So I'm just making sure that this is away, and what I'm going to do is I'll switch the screens across so that you can actually see Ableton Live. So let me just put that and that on, so I'm down in the corner. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I've got here is I'm in loop mode. There's no arrangement at all. Like, as I said, it's just purely I was trying to put a track to sample ideas together. And when I was putting these sounds and layering them, first of all I was focusing on the bass and getting the kick in the bass right. And I used a sample for the bass. I went through different bass sounds in different bass patches, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I ended up going for a sample. I've had to tune that sample to make sure that obviously that the MIDI notes that I'm playing in play in key, so I've had to completely slightly change the key of the sample. Now you can see on here I've got that sample in front of me. Where have I? Yeah. So this one here I believe should be playing a bass. No, it's not, it's a chord shot. Bear with me. It's this one here. Yeah, that's the one, that's the sample. So the original key for this was, the sample was in D, and obviously if you look at my MIDI, I'm not going to give the full pattern away just yet, but if you look at the MIDI, it starts in the root of C, so obviously I've just got to tune that sample down. It's very important to make sure that you do that, unless you're working in that specific key obviously. So bearing that in mind, I just literally tuned the sample down 2 semitones to put it back into C. So that's the first little step, making sure that everything is correct for the root of your MIDI to play, because otherwise you're going to be out in key and it's going to sound just dissonant and just not sounding right and cohesive. Now the next step was to find some layers, some synth layers that I could build up. I've thrown some percussion in here, some sample layers, some quick drums, and then I started to focus on 3 different synth layers in Sylenth. Now these synth layers, they're used as for complementing, for building at the start of the track, but it's very important to make sure that those layers do complement each other sonically. Sometimes when you load up a preset sound, they can be tuned here, so you've got to look at the note tuning, make sure that there's no note tuning happening here, and any tuning of the actual oscillators, because they're going to cause it obviously to, again, sound out of key. So I went through lots of different layers, and let's bring up the sound patch. And I started off with this particular synth layer, chord sort of sound, like a saw, basic saw, which gives it brightness, fills it out in the full body of the track. So let me play you some elements. I'm just going to play the samples individually, and then I'll play the track together. Okay, so that particular saw sound is nice, it's brassy, it's bright, but also you can hear that when I bring it down there's a slight womp on it, and that's kind of what I want, because I want to be able to control that, open the filters up in the full body of the track, and then use it and drop it down and just use the womps maybe in a breakdown or in the intro parts or something like that. So those were my choice of layers. So I'm now going to play the whole track and you can hear it through. As I said, it's only a short video today, guys. It's really just understanding the sound selection, the importance of going through and taking time to really understand the right sounds that work together, because I went through lots of different sounds for this and they just didn't work, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll duplicate the sound, well, I'll just change the sounds and I don't need to save anything. It'll go back to normal. So obviously I'm going to go through these different sounds and you'll see what I mean once we get into it. So I'm just going to go quiet for a little while and play it through, solo things, change some sounds and just mess around. Okay, so you can see what I've done there. I've kind of gone through, I've ended up adding another kind of sort of pad type layer. It's got a little bit of pluck to it, so if you listen to this sound, okay, and then you listen to that other one, the sort of bright chorus one, and then that's kind of wompy. That works perfectly with the bass line, so it works perfectly for the intro and keeping that sort of nice low energy vibe in the track, but knowing that something big and bright is going to happen soon. And that's really, guys, what I wanted to sort of go over. It's very important because, again, as I say, I tried so many different bass samples for this, and it just didn't fit right. And sorry, that was the perfect kind of bass, really. Sorry guys, I was just literally going through some samples there. I was looking for that little yai, basically what it was doing. So all I've done is literally taken this layered sample here. Didn't want the whole of this sample to play, really, in all honesty. If I just take the loop out, you'll see what I mean. So all I've done really there, guys, is just take that one little yai, and it just adds a little sort of, again, layer into every sort of beat, every sort of, you know, fourth beat or whatever, and it's just adding a little bit of texture. Again, that's the importance of finding the right sounds, finding the right layers. Something short and sharp. It doesn't have to be over complex. You know, you could hear the whole sample there being played, but I don't really want the whole sample. I just want that little strike. And that's what sort of, you know, picking samples and twisting them and doing something to them. I could time stretch that out maybe. Once I'm into the track and actually start structuring the track, I could probably make that go out a little bit longer. You know what I mean, and stretch it out. But it's just about being selective with your samples and sounds, and find things that sort of suit in key. You know, one of the quickest ways I find samples to when I'm building an idea and I look for a sample just to add inspiration, is I just literally go into my browser and I just type in the key of the track, and I'll go say C and then Vox, or C bass, and so on and so forth, and think of something that, you know, as something in your mind that you're looking for, and quickly find things. And which is why it's a great idea to your samples to actually run them through mixed in key, or at least know the key of the samples, and organize your sample library so that you can just literally find stuff quickly, and it will find stuff just by searching stuff really quickly. And that's how I build tracks on a consistent basis. And literally, you know, I don't actually finish all of my tracks at the moment. So it's just purely don't get the time because of the academy, running the academy and stuff. It's not an excuse, I know, but I'm trying to finish as many tracks as I can. I'm trying to literally do the ideas in a day, and then I've got to come back to them. But I have got a lot of music I want to finish and start putting out, because after last week's session on how to promote your music, I'm going to be going through all of those things and all of those websites and sort of utilising them, and then doing a report back and another live session on that in the coming future. I'm not sure when, but I've got to get into action. So it means I've got to finish my tracks. I've got to force myself to try and find some time to finish my own tracks. They just need pretty much mixing down really, and mastering off, and I can actually start banging out a few tracks and then utilize these apps, these websites, all on the blockchain technology and so on and so forth, and see where it takes me. So I hope you've enjoyed that short little session, guys. And again, I do apologise for the quality of the videos, because for some unknown reason YouTube is not publishing my videos in high definition. It's only putting them out in SD quality, so you can hardly see the screens just lately. When I first started doing this, YouTube was putting my videos in high quality, so it was one of the reasons why I decided to sort of give it a break for a while. But what I am going to try and do, guys, is be regular content now on a weekend, on a Saturday, purely because I'm so busy during the week trying to sort of organise stuff for the academy, growing things, doing the self-marketing at the moment until I employ a company to do it for me. And literally I'm building the t-shirts. I've got a t-shirt range coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so I'm going to start doing content now, hopefully around about between 4 and 4:30 on a Saturday. I do apologise, I'm in my golf attire. I've literally just come off the golf course and come straight to do this video. So yeah, that's the new time slot, guys, moving from a Friday to a Saturday, because it just gives me more time to do stuff, more time to prepare stuff for these sessions. I don't want to just throw things together and be unorganised. I want to, you know, try and put out content for you guys, and which is helpful and useful for you to help you progress your careers. So on that, I will leave you to have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Oh, and hit the like. Just gently caress the like button. It'd be great. And subscribe to the channel. It does help the algorithm, and it does help, you know, everything really. It just keeps me going with these. I am aiming to try and at least hit that 100 video mark, and if I do, that will be you know, a little momentum for me to continue moving forward and trying to provide quality content for you guys. As I said, I do apologize for the quality of the videos. I don't know why YouTube is putting them out in such a bad quality for me, whether it's the live stream or what, I don't know. But on that note, take care.